welcome. I'm Maria and I am a Norwegian knitter based in Portugal, and this is my podcast, and it's going to be mostly about knitting, but definitely it can be about different crafts as well. So let's start. On my needles I have a sweater for myself. It lives in this beautiful bag from Elderflower Stitches. Charlotte really love her color palette, and this is not her yarn, but she does have yarn as well. This could be her yarn, but it's not. This is my no frills sweater by PetiteKnit, and I just love the pastel-y pinky greenish colors. This yarn is kid silk from Mayflower, and this pink fluff. Sorry, the yarn ball is completely gone haywire. And this one, which is fragile, from Madeline Tosh Lights, and it's a glittery base. So yeah, I'm almost finished with the ribbing at the bottom of the body, and then I'm just needing to knit sleeves. I live in Portugal and it's getting cooler like everywhere else, but still it's quite warm here. But in the morning I definitely like to have a sweater like this, and in the evenings. So we definitely can wear knitted garments even though we're in the middle of Portugal and it's hot weather. I mainly knit for my kids, but I definitely like to knit for myself. And my husband has also been lucky to have at least 2 sweaters that I knit him, and socks. But he requested that I knit him a sweater that's a little bit more rustic yarn, that's like more form-fitting and keeps its shape. And we looked at patterns together and we looked at yarns together, and what he found and what he really wanted was an Icelandic sweater from Sandnes Garn, which is a Norwegian yarn company. So the sweater is knitted bottom up, and it's this one. Maybe you've seen it before, maybe you haven't, but I like to do with sweaters or garments that are knitted top, what do you call it? What do you say? From the bottom up. There you go, from the bottom up. The sleeves could easily be the gauge swatch. So that's what I did with these, and I got gauge, and they are finished, and all the extra yarns are down here. That's why they're looking a little bit chunky. So I started with the body, and because these are smaller circumference, the gauge on the body didn't work. So I knitted for maybe like 20 centimeters and saw that, oh my god, it's gonna be way too big for him. And he really wanted like a fitted sweater, not an oversized sweater. So I went back to the ribbing, because the ribbing is completely fine. I tried this on him and he enjoys it being not too tight but not too loose. So I will have to figure out, probably gonna knit a smaller size than intended, because going down in needle size for this yarn, it's Gynt, which is also a Norwegian yarn, is the gauge for a smaller needle will be too tight, I think, for the fabric that it's creating. So I will start that back up so he can get a sweater too for when it gets cooler. Yeah. I also like to knit animals or small little knickknacks, and the big thing for me at the moment is living in this Mrs. Brown's bag, which, if you know Grocery Girls here on YouTube or Instagram, this is Jodie's bag she makes a lot of bags with knitted yarn, and this yarn I also have, but it's in my stash in Denmark. And in here lives all my little frogs. So I found a girl called India on Instagram, and I will link them down below so you can find them too. And she makes the cutest little videos with small little frogs, knitted frogs, that are, yeah, going on a picnic, meeting a friend, getting a girlfriend, all that kind of small videos, and it's amazing. So if you can support her, please go check her Instagram out. And she knits the most cute little frogs from a pattern from Dot Pebble Knits, and she's Garland, and you can find her patterns both on Ravelry but also on Etsy. So I bought the pattern, and this is going to be a frog. And here's when it's stuffed and has eyes on it, and here's one with legs. This one just needs to have all the ends woven in. And here's one that has also the wires in the legs, so you can sit them down and make them hold something. And yeah, you can see there's a lot of ends to weave in, but it's definitely worth it if you like that kind of jazz. So I have almost 5 here. It's 4 that's the body is finished, and they need a little bit legs and yeah, whatnots. And also they have little sweaters. So this one is a shorter sleeve one. This has a longer sleeve one. And the pattern, you can get the pattern for the sweater as well. So the pattern for the sweater is knit flat, but I figured just knit it in the round. And I did this one. It's a little bit cropped, but I kind of like it. And yeah, I just love those little froggies. They're so cute. And I sell these on Etsy, so I'm gonna say an ad for my own little business. So if you want to get one of these, you can definitely check my Etsy out, and or send me a message and I will help you. I just love them. They're so cute. And I'm also knitting a toad from also the same, not the same pattern, but the same who makes the pattern. I kind of think this toad is so cute because it looks like he's having his hand in his pockets, but he actually has other legs, and I have knitted them. I just need to attach them. And this one comes with like a pattern for, is it a pattern? Well, at least it looks like he has like a jacket and a pair of pants, so I can't wait to get that finished as well. They're so cute. Yeah, I love making those little froggies. And if you want to knit your own, I definitely say go for it. And it's not hard, but it's of course not easy. Like if you never knitted a small toy stuffed animal before, it can be a little bit tricky, but you don't have to knit it at the gauge I'm knitting. It's quite small. The pattern actually calls for larger. It's just that I fell in love with India's frogs, and they're knitted at this gauge. So yeah. Sorry, I felt like I'm going a little bit fast there. Well, I'm going to go into finished objects. So was it just before summer I finished a cardigan for Mia, which is the little Anna's cardigan from PetiteKnit, and the color is like a mossy green, and it's a Sandnes Garn duo, so it's like a 50% cotton, 50% wool, and I really like it's like thick, but it's not warm like a completely woolen sweater would be. And I had some leftovers from this yarn, and PetiteKnit came out with the Sophie scarf, and I just found it so cute. So with the leftovers, I made Mia a little scarf as well. So this is Mia's, but I definitely think if she's not using it one of these days, I might actually borrow it, which you guys just look. I just love how this little pattern scarf sits, and you can put it on however you want. And a YouTube channel that I follow, Caddy Jack's Knits. If you follow them, you probably know, but they have how do you ascot? And sorry, I'm gonna butcher that. How do you ascot? And that's about how you would tie it or how you would use your little scarves. So you can definitely go check them out. They're a very cute couple, or not couple, but they're friends. You know what I mean. And yeah, knitting this pattern goes really fast, and it's such a easy pattern. You can knit it anywhere, and so I knitted another one. I just got the bugs for small scarves. So this one is knitted in one single thread of Sandnes Sunday, and it's the PetiteKnit collection. And I just find the rusty red color is really good now for fall. And it goes really good with this green as well. So she wants to wear the jacket in green, and this one, it will go really good together. And then my mother-in-law came, and she's a big knitter like me, and she was knitting on a Sophie scarf as well. And she had a lot of leftover yarns, and she said, "Oh, do you want it?" I was like, "Yes, please." And then I started one for Nova, my middle daughter. I have 3 daughters. I have Bianca, who is nearly 12. I have Nova, who's 10, and then I have Mia, who's 3. So they're all knit-worthy. They like my knits, so that's very lucky. And Nova actually wanted to wear this to school today, but I was like, no, I'm gonna show it on my podcast before you wear it. So she can wear it tomorrow. And another scarf that I knitted just before summer as well is the #1 scarf by my favorite knitwear, and it has like a little bit of a different vibe to it. And I knit this in double tynn line, which is also from Sandnes Garn. It's a linen yarn, and yeah, I just like the drape of it because it has like a much more heavier drape, and it's also just good for these days where it's a little bit cooler outside, but it's too warm for a sweater during the day. But you just need a little bit for the wind on your neck. So yeah, and the linen yarn works really good here in Portugal, I think. So I can wear this on a summer day down by the beach if it's a little bit windy, or yeah, I love this little scarf. So this is also like for me, but the whole family is probably going to use it. Maybe not my husband, this one. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I can, if I'm allowed, I will put in a little fun picture of this, where my mother-in-law's partner is wearing this. It looks good on a man as well, I'll tell you. So yeah, that was that. And so here in Portugal, in the winter time, it gets cool and it gets windy. So definitely we can wear like knitted garments here. So I knit this hat, and this is for Nova, my middle daughter. But Mia's gonna have one exactly the same because I just love the palette. And my oldest daughter, I will have to ask her because she's a little bit more particular of what color she wants to wear, and yeah. But this is for Nova. It's the Hipster hat by PetiteKnit, and I just love the ribbing, and I just like how it's finished in the top, and the single fold over, because if we do double here it's gonna be too warm, but the single one works really good. And I've knit this hat plenty of times, and I love the pattern and I use it. And I like this pattern by PetiteKnit because it includes all the sizes, which PetiteKnit doesn't always have. She has like one pattern for babies, one for toddlers, or one for teenagers, and one for adults. I just like it sometimes when the pattern includes all the sizes. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, and the other one I've finished is this one. So this is a dress for Mia, And I'm a little bit scared it's gonna be too small, but we'll see. I finish it during the summer, but it's been way too hot here to wear it. But I think with a pair of tights, she can still probably wear like a tunica or something. It's the ruffle dress, and it's by Knitting for Olive, and it's also knitted in Knitting for Olive merino yarn. I can't remember the color, I think maybe mushroom. I'm not 100% sure, but I will put the links down below so you can get all the information if you want. And it's supposed to have ruffles all the way across the body, both in the front and the back, but I really just wanted it on the sleeves, so I omitted the ruffles here. And the ruffles like go like this on the side, and I just gently sew them down, how do you say that, to the dress here, so they're not like loose flappy, but yeah, still has that ruffle to it. And I just need to put a little button on the back and it will be finished. So yeah, love that little dress. So yeah, I think that's what I have finished and what I'm making. Oh, I forgot one thing. I will show you. So in my last year's Advent box from Dandelion and Dogwood, I have a pretty mind-blowing project, or mind-blowing for me, because it needs me to think. I have to think a lot when I'm knitting on this. That's why it hasn't been knitted on for quite some time. So this is my spot sweater. It's a pattern from a Danish designer called Anne Ventzel. Anne Ventzel. I will put it down below. If you haven't seen this, I would say go check it out. You can knit this in just one color here, and it will be easy breezy pattern. It's not a hard pattern, but I chose to use my Dandelion and Dogwood Advent calendar. And I'm not sure I have enough yarn. Well, I should have, like, compared to what the pattern says and what I have, but I'm not sure anyways. But I just love how this is turning out. And I really wanted to have like the more like muted colors, but I don't mind this, even though it's more vibrant than the others, and this one as well. So I'll show you the little box. That's the yarn I have. So I definitely should have enough. I have more of this kid silk, and this is a big skein, but I definitely feel that I would like to have more of this, which is, I think, like a Suri alpaca base. Suri silk alpaca base, I think. So, but yeah, we'll see if I have to buy more or if it's enough. I have fluff in my mouth now. But yeah, I just would love to have this sweater finished, because it's so, ooh, you just want to hug it when you take it out. And yeah, just love it. So halfway done with the body. Definitely have to see if I have enough yarn. And yeah, get that finished for winter, or maybe next winter. We'll see. So yeah, that was all that I have going at the moment at this house. So we moved to Portugal last August, and the year before we sold everything that we had, moved from our big apartment to a smaller place, and we sold everything. And yeah, we came here with our suitcases, and we didn't bring a lot of suitcases. We brought 2 big ones and 1 small each, and like a small bag each as well. So we don't have a lot of stuff, but I really like this new minimalistic lifestyle. But in Denmark, we still have a small office with bookshelves with all my books, like my pattern books, my cookbooks, sewing patterns, and yeah, also some children's books. And I have all my yarn stash, which I even sold out a little bit of my yarn before we moved, but I still have a lot of yarn. So when we go to Denmark, I always tend to bring a little bit when we go back, but not all of it. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do have a little bit of yarn here, and I was really, really lucky that my sister was here this summer. So she came to visit with her family, and my sister has her own hand-dyeing yarn company in Norway, and it's living in this another elderflower stitches bag, and I think this one is from her advent calendar last year. I was very lucky to have a couple of advent calendars last year. This year I don't have any, unfortunately, but now I'm gonna look up something here. Yeah, sorry. So my sister has a company called Willow Grove in Pocket Valley. I will show you oh, there it is. This is her logo, and this comes with the yarn. So I was lucky enough to get 3 skeins of this one, which is superwash merino yarn, and I don't know what to knit with it yet. But as I said, I have 3 daughters, and maybe they would like a sweater or something in this. I will definitely see. Or maybe it'd be like a shawl for myself, who knows. And I was lucky to get these as well. And these are sparkling. And it's also superwash merino. And yeah, I can't wait to figure out what to knit with these. So even though I don't have a large stash here in Portugal, I definitely am lucky to have a sister who brought me a little bit of yarn. So yeah, I can't wait to see what I want to knit with those. So, oh, I'm gonna take a sip of tea. I got my little mooming cup. My grandmother is very, what do you say? She's very, very kind, and she comes here to Portugal to visit. She doesn't work anymore. She used to work even for like way after when you retire. She still wanted to work, and she's a teacher. But now she's retired and she has the time to come here to Portugal a little bit more, and she brought some mugs for us. So this is actually a Christmas gift from my mom that my grandmother brought with her, but my kids got some as well. And yeah. So let's talk about a little bit about books. So this book right behind me, I'm gonna grab it, is a book by Sophia Wood, and I didn't know about her. She's from Sweden, but I follow another Norwegian lady on Instagram who's a knitter, and I've been following her for a while, and our youngest children are the same age. They're born on the same day. No, I can't remember. I think it's on the same day, or I think so. Or the one is born one day and the other one's born the next day. I can't remember. But we've been talking a lot on Instagram together for many years. We have never met, but she was making the most yummy looking pasta. And she's like, oh, it's by Sophia Wood. Don't you know her? I was like, no. And Sophia Wood has the most stunning Instagram account. And I'm not just talking about food. She has interior. She doesn't knit, I don't think. At least I haven't seen it. But the places that she lives in Sweden is just stunning. I would love to. It's like a dream. You would never think someone could live like that, but they do, and it's very beautiful. So Sophia Wood has made a couple of books, and what you can see from this book, she definitely likes pasta. And I think that's her favorite, any kind of Italian pasta. And she has a lot of recipes on her Instagram. And one of my favorites is like just a homemade tomato sauce with pasta. And I love it. I made it so many times, I know it by hand, back of my head, I can make it. And I saw that she was giving this book out, and I definitely wanted it, and I ordered it, and I got it signed. I was so lucky. I felt so lucky. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful dishes in here, and as you can see, the photography in here is stunning. And yeah, just look. Who would not want to have a dish like that? It just looks fabulous. So unfortunately, this book is only in Swedish, but if you like pasta and you want to make something from her, definitely check her Instagram out. I think you can easily translate her Instagram posts into English if you need to, or if you probably will need to make it because it's so yummy. But she has some other books as well. I haven't seen them, but this one I definitely recommend. So many yummy recipes in there. So I'll show you some of the knitting books I have as well. So I have this, it's kind of like a magazine, but it's like really thick. It's from Novita, and they have made a collaboration with the Finnish porcelain company, and they make like really stunning porcelain everything. And it's been around for 1873, many years. And they made this sock book, which they have inspired all the socks from different porcelain collections they have. And I will show you some of my favorites without showing. There you go. I would love to make these. Aren't they pretty? And I would love to make the one on the front as well. I will show you. It's so beautiful. And of course, all this is in Finnish, but I think because they all have like, what do you call? Diagrams for the pattern. I think the rest, even though it's in Finnish, I can use Google Translate. Another one I got while I was living here in Portugal, I ordered it from Knitting from Olive, is this one. And I really want to knit the sweater on the front. And it's a really thick and heavy book. And I love this book. They came out with this book while I was living here, and I just needed to have it. So that's why I have it. And another one, because I need a lot of kids patterns for my kids and friends and family, I brought this with me from one of our holidays going back to Denmark. I brought this from my stash, and it's a Norwegian book, Ministrik. And this book means a lot to me. And if you know a little bit about the story behind this, you will also think it's a beautiful one. It's two friends who had a company together, and unfortunately Linda and Charlotte are the ones who had it. Unfortunately, Charlotte died by suicide, and yeah, just mental health. Stay healthy, people. So this book means a lot to me. So yeah, those are the books that I have here, and of course this one. That's not knitting, but food. Everyone wants food, right? Yeah, so that's a little bit of all my knitting and my whips and FOs, and yeah, hopefully I will do this a little bit more regular than I have been doing. I only have one episode before this, so this is number 2, and hopefully I will be back in a week's time. Until then, I hope you enjoy yourself and enjoy the cooler weather, and yeah, keep knitting, and I will see you.